Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekly Oracle Wisdom. My name is Natalie Sadie. For those of you that are joining me for the first time, welcome. I hope that everybody is having a good week. I know things are crazy in LA at the moment, and I hope that everyone watching is staying safe. I hope that your homes are okay. I've been on alert since last Tuesday and essentially in a constant state of readiness to leave. So while I haven't lost anything at this moment, plenty of my friends have, and it's just one of the most horrible things to be living through. So I hope that everyone is safe. And I think it's moments like this that put so much into perspective, and as heartbreaking as it is to lose everything, if we get out with our lives and our loved ones alive and our pets and all of that, we're doing okay, and we will get through this. And it's moments like this as well that really show us the incredible side of humanity and what we are prepared to do for each other. And that warms my heart. And I think sometimes that that's exactly what we need. We need that reminder of how good we all are when we come together, as opposed to being so divided, which we have been, and that sucks. But hopefully this is a turning point in society at the moment for us to really focus on coming together and focus on the good and the things that we can all do together. So thank you everyone who's joining me live in the chat. I've got both YouTube and the app open, so it's wonderful having you all here with me, and let's dive right into this. For those of you that haven't seen it, I did do a January reading. We're almost halfway through the month, so it's a perfect time to go back and rewatch the pile that you picked, maybe see if a different pile resonates with you at this point. If you do that, make sure that you let me know which pile you picked and if it did resonate. And if you are going to the YouTube channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share it, all of that, because I don't actually advertise that channel. So let's get it out as far as we can. Okay, so we're starting with the Ascending Life Oracle, which is one of my favorites by Mahroukh. This blows my mind. Again, it's a 100-card deck. There are a lot of cards, but third party has come up again. Others interfering in your business, possible love triangle, too many people involved, someone is watching you. So clearly this is an ongoing theme with what we have going on at the moment. I'm going to pull a few more cards to clarify, but I will say, I've said it before, that it's a very good idea to keep a lot of your moves to yourself. Don't share them with people, because people are very quick to jump in and tell you what you can or can't achieve. And you don't need that sort of negativity. If you know that you're working on something and you know in your soul that that's what you're meant to be working towards, keep doing that. It's so important that you do. I don't know, maybe you're involved in a love triangle. Maybe there's another person. Maybe you're the other person. I don't know, but it's something that obviously you need to be paying attention to. And maybe it's as simple as somebody watching you, online. Be very mindful about what you post online. I get it. That's your platform. You can put out whatever you want. For me, I am very thoughtful and very mindful about what it is I put out there, because I'm aware that even if a page is private, it's never really private. People see, people take screenshots, people share. So just be aware of that and always keep that in the back of your mind. The next card is children, raising children, helping or working with children, starting a family, emotionally immature behavior. So I immediately go to that last line, emotionally immature behavior. It's very easy if you don't have good role models around communication, or if you start a relationship with somebody when you're very young, to keep those childish behaviors, because you don't know any better when you're arguing with people. I know that with my ex-husband, the way we would argue, when I look back with hindsight, we argued like two teenagers, even when we were in our 20s and we were married. And it's not a healthy way to communicate. It's not healthy to yell and scream. It's not healthy to not hear what the other person is saying. And it was the next relationship which taught me that I needed to change the way that I communicated. And since then, I've never had a screaming match with somebody I've been in a relationship with. It was a journey to get to that point, but now if I'm upset with somebody, I will sit with it, sometimes for a few hours, sometimes for a few days, and then I'll sit down and go, hey, we need to talk about this or that. And you can still be passionate, you can still get your point across, but the moment you start screaming, you lose control of the situation. You lose the ability to get your point across, because the moment you're screaming and carrying on, the other person is no longer listening, and that's a problem. So whether it be you or somebody else, but it's time that that level of communication changes. But maybe someone's starting a family, which is super exciting, whether you've just found out or you're about to whether you're just about to find out, that's super exciting. And it doesn't surprise me that children are coming up in the reading today, because with what's going on in LA, schools have been burning down. Kids won't be going back to school. And after the time that we had through 2020, we had the Woolsey fire before that, kids have missed out on a lot, and they need the social interactions. They certainly need education, but this is what's going on. The next card is the Star. Wish fulfillment and blessings, wealth and fame, becoming quite popular, brand new and hopeful life. So again, I go right to the bottom, brand new and hopeful life. I hope that is the rebuilding, certainly for those of us here in LA, and that things move quickly. And in the weeks leading up to the fire, I pulled fire cards a little bit, and cards that just had flames on them. And I talked at length about how when a fire ravages an area, it also is an opportunity for rebirth and regrowth. There are seeds that will stay locked until there is the heat of a fire, and the fire will allow those seeds to be released from the pods that they're being held in. And that's how we get forest regeneration and all of that. So as awful as this moment is in California's history and America's history, it is a time to rebuild and come back in a much better and stronger way, and also a more thoughtful way. But wish fulfillment and blessings is always a wonderful thing. We have some intense astrology at the moment. We've got the Cancer full moon, which happened just a short time ago, and it was an occult full moon where it eclipses Mars. And so full moons to me have always meant endings, but with an ending, just like with the fires, you get a new beginning. So moving forward onto that path that you've been wishing for and working towards. Okay. The next card is the Death card. Inevitable end, big transformation, shedding required, dead end. So we've been pulling this a lot in the last couple of weeks as well. And I feel like it's almost confirmation that the full moon is that period of endings, but with endings, you get new beginnings. And that there is big transformation. So I feel like that is actually good news in amongst this weird energy that we have been in. And also a good sign that moving forward, we're going to be able to make something wonderful come out of this. It doesn't need to be something completely horrible and disastrous. And the rebuild can be what we decide it is, not necessarily what the powers that be decide. The next card is karmic cycle, settling scores in this life, karmic relationship, karmic patterns, negative cycles, personal growth. So karma is something that affects all of us. I am a huge proponent of not seeking revenge on people, because I've always said that karma will take care of it, and it always does. Whether we hear about it or not, that's a separate issue, but it's time to allow the universe to do its thing. With that being said, you have to keep in mind that if you are putting bad energy out there and you're doing terrible things to people, the karma coming back for you may not be the greatest. And just know that if you don't hear about the karma that happens to somebody where something that they really wronged you, it's okay. You don't need to know. It is very satisfying when you get a phone call or you get some sort of notification that the universe has kind of kicked them up the butt a little bit. But realistically, the best revenge is going on and being successful. So just keep that in mind. The other thing is karmic relationships. Karmic relationships often are not our forever relationships. They are the relationships that come in to teach us a lesson, to tie up loose ends from previous lives, and for us to finally be able to move on and be free of that lesson that's going on. So they can also be the most heartbreaking because they can be so intensely filled with love and joy and all of this, and then suddenly be ripped away, or there is just a reason why something won't work, and we have to accept it, that in this life it's just not meant to be. So just keep an eye on that. And while I was talking, I just kept thinking about this card. So they could be something that's tied together. I'm going to pull one more before I move on. And the final card from this deck is Key. Opening doors to a better future, access to what was hidden, finding solutions, access to previously closed doors, which I feel is a perfect final card from this deck, especially with what we're going through here in California. And again, I take it as confirmation of what I was saying earlier, that we get to choose how we rebuild from this. I get that there is red tape and things in the way, but ultimately we do get to decide. Opening doors to a better future, again, that's what I'm talking about. Access to what is hidden. I feel like a lot of information will come out, not only now, but in the weeks and months to come. We'll find out more about what has actually been going on, what the government and the local authorities have and have not been doing. And for those of us that are further away, I feel like this is just a great card for what is coming, new beginnings. And I will put that down to the full moon and the endings that are coming with this. Now, David did say on his full moon video that was posted at about midnight last night, Pacific time, that sleeping and all of that can be interrupted because of this moon. And I know that mine was. So if you're feeling a little spacey, a little tired, just know that you're not alone, and that will pass. And then you'll be able to focus in on the things that you need to in the coming days. So we're moving on to the Spirit Animal Oracle, Colette Baron-Reid. I was feeling the call of the animals with the wildfires and all of those animals that have been affected. There are some incredible videos of people helping wildlife. I know that all the wildlife rehabilitation places are overwhelmed. So I just thought we would see what they have to say. Okay, so the first one is Fox Spirit, think on your feet. Yep, it's a time where we need to be decisive. We need to think about what we're doing, but we need to think quickly. It's not a time to sit and ponder and weigh everything up. It's a week of knowing what you need to do and doing it, taking care of what you need to. Okay. Flamingo Spirit, embrace the in-between. So for those of us here in Southern California, it has been a really strange start to the year. I think it's actually not unlike the feeling that you get in Australia, because in Australia, they're right in the middle of summer, and so often people take a lot of January off. So things really don't properly come back online until February. And so the beginning of the year is always this weird space where there's not a whole lot happening. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, you get that time between Christmas and New Year's off, and It's always a bit weird. You lose track of days, but then January starts and people pretty much get back to it straight away. We're a couple of weeks in and it does feel like we are in this in-between stage where life is moving and time is moving, but nothing's really happening. And this is your reminder that you need to be present. So embrace the in-between, be present, embrace what is happening right now. And so if you're displaced and you're spending time with family, if you're affected by what's going on here, enjoy those moments. Enjoy the time that you have together. Obviously, pray that your home is protected. And if it's not, you will find a way to rebuild your life and create something that is just as special, if not more special. But enjoy the present and be grateful for what we have right now, as opposed to living in the past or living with anxiety because we're living in the future and worrying about things that haven't happened. For the rest of the world, it is your reminder to be present. Be present in the now for all the same reasons, except you're just not dealing with the massive loss of homes and livelihoods that we've been dealing with. But it's still just as important to be present and honor the people and places around you, honor what you're doing in that moment, and really take it all in. So the third card, and I'm going to pull one more, is Canary Spirit. Sing your own song. I keep talking about this as well, but we have to embrace who we are. We came to this world to live our life and be an individual, be like nobody else is in this world. And so often we get caught up in trying to fit in or trying to be normal or trying to be something. And it's a new year. We've talked a lot in this spread about rebuilding and making it better and being the star and all of that. This is how you do it. It's by embracing your individuality, by embracing who you are and letting the world see it, because I guarantee people will fall in love with who you are. It's when you're busy trying to fit in with everybody else that it gets lost, because there's enough of everybody else around, but we don't have you if you're not being authentic. So just keep that in mind. Sing your own song. Let your freak flag fly. Okay, so the last one is Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. Like I said at the beginning of this, when I was talking about what's been going on here in Southern California, love is all around. Humanity always steps up for each other and to help each other in times of crisis and times of need. The fact that GoFundMe is such a huge thing these days, where we all gather around certain people and help each other out. The fact that people that haven't lost anything are going in and helping wherever they can, whether it be donations. I've been watching plenty of shelters call out for fosters for their dogs so that they can take in other animals that have been displaced by the fires. And the videos of people stepping up is so incredible, and it fills my soul seeing that. And I think it's very easy at the moment to get on social media and see just images of doom and gloom, and it's the most horrible thing because it's depressing, and that's how we start to live with anxiety or depression. But when you focus on all the good that's happening, I mean, I've watched so many videos of people going in to rescue horses, and there was even a video of a horse that ran back towards the flames to go and rescue its two friends, and as soon as it got to it, they turned around and they all got out of there together. But people saying, right, we were going and doing horse rescues and we had a trailer where we could only move 1 or 2 horses at a time. We've now got a trailer because somebody loaned it to us where we can get 10 horses at a time. It's all of that. So focus on the good that's happening all around you, because it totally exists. And then if you have looked at my thumbnail, that is a fire dragon. is what I will call it, and I felt like it was appropriate considering where I'm located. So I'm finishing up with the Dragon Oracle. All right, there's one. I'm going to pull two. But the first card is I swear to God, Fire and Water Dragon enables your life to flow with loving force. Prepare for change and move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected. Have fun. So this card literally leapt out of the deck. The fact that it's called Fire and Water Dragon, just these cards, every single solitary reading blow my mind. But you do need to let your life flow. And again, love is all around. You've got to let it flow with loving force. So, okay, we're doing 3 cards. The fact that prepare for change, move forward quickly, it goes back to think on your feet, living with the fox spirit that we have going on. Prepare for change. We're only at the very beginning. We're not tomorrow. We're 2 weeks into 2025. And so much has already shifted and turned on its head. So be prepared for that. The astrology of 2025 is going to be intense. And if you had watched Full Disclosure with David and I on Friday, we talked a little bit about the astrology moving forward. He has a special that's up for sale that's live tomorrow. But essentially, we're getting very little breaks from the astrology. So prepare for that change, but be okay with it. Try and remove the emotion from what's going on and trust that the universe has you so that you're able to move, to go with the flow and do it without dragging yourself down with anxiety and stress and all of that. I get that it's easier said than done, but you have to find a way to exist in that space, because that is when you'll be able to make the best decisions for yourself, for your family. It is the way you will create the best life for you, especially if you're embracing who you are. So the second card that jumped out is Pure White Dragon from Orion. Transform your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know, act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. So much of the knowledge that you've been gathering and sort of sitting on, and I feel like this comes back to the canary. You already know so much of what you need and how to move forward. And it's time for you to embrace that, to put all of that into practice in your life and move forward in that way. And you absolutely can. It's time to expand. It's time to grow. It's time for all of us as light workers to really step forward into that role. And it can be intimidating. I mean, anyone that's been watching this show from the very beginning, and if those of you on YouTube don't even have access to what I was like in the very beginning, because I started it on the High Vibe app, and I did it because it was a closed network. It's obviously a wonderful network for the community. And I was so nervous. I was so scared to let myself do this publicly. And I'm now so glad that I did and that I took the leap. And I was so grateful for the loving and supportive community that I had. But you have to take those leaps and sort of step into those gifts that you have and share that knowledge that you have, because you don't know how many people you'll help. And the other thing is, if you help one person, that then has a ripple effect that they'll go on and help another 1 or 10 or 20 people. So keep that in mind. And the final card is the Emerald Dragon. Bring in healing and cosmic abundance. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your 5th dimensional blueprint. So I'm taking this as confirmation to everything that I just said. So it's time to embrace. It's time to level up. It's time to step into that role. This is what you came here for. This is why you're watching this reading right now. So it's time. And that doesn't mean that you stop the journey of learning and developing your gifts and knowledge any further, but it's time to start making sure you are implementing these things day to day. I hope this resonates with some of you, if not all of you. I appreciate every single person that has joined me in the lives today. It's amazing having you all here. Thank you for the support from day one, because I brought it up to where I am now. It's just incredible. And I look forward to doing this every week and at the beginning of every month with you. I'm waiting to see what happens with the TikTok ban to decide whether or not I start a separate channel for that and do some maybe shorter readings where I pull a card or a couple of cards for a day. So yeah. So make sure you go check out the January reading, subscribe, like, share, comment, all the things with that. I believe David's doing deep astrology tonight, followed by spiritual dance music, which is amazing that that's coming back, because who doesn't love to rock out to spiritual dance music? And then there is the 2025 special that is happening tomorrow. So you can check out all of that on High Vibe. I'll have the link here on YouTube for those of you that are not High Vibe members that are watching. And everyone in Southern California, please stay safe. Be ready to go if that's what you need to. We're going to have some pretty big Santa Ana winds until Wednesday. So just stay vigilant, stay prepared, but also stay in a place of calmness so that you're able to make all the decisions that you need to. And we together will get through all of this. Everybody else that's extended beyond California, thank you for all the support, all the well wishes for myself and everybody else that is going through this crazy, crazy time. Happy Cancer full moon. And as always, an extra special thank you to my girl, Anne, who makes all of this possible for me to live stream across all the platforms at once. I couldn't do this without you. Have a great week, everyone.